The bustling city of Viridia, there was a young man named Sam who had a reputation for being the nicest person around. From the time he was little, Sam was taught the value of kindness and politeness. His parents, teachers, and even friends all applauded him for always saying please and thank you, helping anyone who asked, and never raising his voice, no matter the situation. Sam took great pride in his reputation as a polite, helpful person, but over time, his constant politeness started to take a toll in ways he hadn't anticipated. After graduating from college, Sam landed a job at a well-known marketing firm. He was thrilled at the chance to work in a high-energy, creative environment. But soon, he found himself facing an unexpected problem. His boss, a woman named Lisa, was sharp and demanding, and she began to notice that Sam was willing to accept every task she assigned, no matter how overwhelming. She quickly learned she could give Sam any last-minute assignment, ask him to stay late, or have him redo work over and over, and Sam would always respond with a polite, "Of course," and "no problem." Sam's colleagues noticed Lisa's favoritism, too. They would joke that Sam was like the office's yes man, always bending over backward, always eager to help. While they admired his politeness, some even took advantage of it. "Hey, Sam, could you cover my shift this Friday? You're the best." "Sam, could you handle this report? I know you're the only one who could do it justice." Sam would nod and agree, not wanting to disappoint anyone or seem rude. But as months went by, Sam began to feel the strain. His polite yeses had turned into hours upon hours of work, with little time left for himself. He missed family dinners, was constantly tired, and started to feel resentful toward those around him. Yet every time he thought about saying no, a voice in his head told him that would be rude, that it would disappoint others, and that he had a duty to help. One day, Sam met his friend Mark for coffee. Mark was one of those rare friends who didn't ask for favors and was always ready to listen. As they sat down, Mark noticed the dark circles under Sam's eyes and asked, "You doing okay? You look exhausted." Sam tried to brush it off, but the weight of his frustration was too much to contain. "It's just, I feel like everyone's always asking me for something and I can't say no. I've been raised to be polite, but it feels like people are just walking all over me." Mark thought for a moment and then said something that changed everything. "Sam, there's a difference between being polite and being a pushover. Being polite doesn't mean you have to sacrifice yourself to make everyone else happy. Sometimes saying no is the most respectful thing you can do for yourself and for others." Sam mulled over Mark's words. The more he thought about it, the more he realized that he had been polite to the point of self-neglect. His politeness was no longer a virtue, but a weakness others were exploiting. He resolved to make a change, no matter how uncomfortable it felt at first. The next day at work, Lisa called Sam into her office. "Sam," she said, handing him yet another stack of papers, "I need these done by tomorrow morning." For a moment, Sam felt the familiar urge to say, "Of course, no problem." But then he remembered Mark's words. He took a deep breath and said, "Lisa, I have other work on my plate that I need to prioritize. I won't be able to finish this by tomorrow." Lisa looked shocked, almost as if she couldn't believe what she was hearing. "Excuse me?" she asked, taken aback. Sam, heart pounding but resolute, met her gaze. "I'm happy to help where I can, but I have to manage my workload effectively. Maybe someone else could take this on, or I could help later this week." Lisa, though visibly annoyed, realized she couldn't push Sam like before. That evening, Sam went home on time for the first time in months. He felt a strange but welcome sense of relief and pride. Over the following weeks, Sam continued to practice standing up for himself. He politely, yet firmly, set boundaries with his coworkers, and even began delegating tasks. His colleagues started to respect his time, and even Lisa backed off from piling extra work on him. Sam realized that his politeness was more powerful when he used it wisely, not as a way to be agreeable at all costs, but as a way to interact with integrity and mutual respect. By the time Sam's year-end review rolled around, Lisa, surprisingly, commended him on his newfound assertiveness. "You've really come into your own," she told him. "Sometimes you need to say no to get the job done right." Sam walked out of that meeting with a smile, finally understanding that true politeness wasn't about making himself a doormat for others. It was about treating others and himself with respect, knowing when to lend a hand and when to stand his ground.